Coming full circle, much like the track layout, the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series makes their big return to the Big E, now with 410s. In 2017, it was 360s, but tonight we cash in with the big engines. At least someone will be cashing in at the pay window tonight after 35 laps of feature racing. Welcome to Pit Stop TV, the virtual Rossburg, Ohio. I'm Andrew Cardinale IV with Zach Murtis alongside, and it's a pleasure as always to join you for coverage of the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series. Tonight's coverage from Eldora is brought to you by the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series, by Pit Stop TV, and by Whiplash Simcams. Zach, this is a track we don't hit nearly often enough, and here we are hitting it twice within a week. We've got tonight's race here at Eldora, and Monday the Nora Retro Cup Series comes here for their prelude to the dream in Pro Dirt Late Models. I'm excited. This racetrack, I mean, like I just said, it's not on our calendar nearly enough. This is a really, really fun dirt track. I mean, in the world of dirt tracks, I don't know if there's any that's larger than Eldora. Knoxville certainly is massive in the sprint car world, and so for sprint cars, I'd say maybe Knoxville is a little bit larger. But when you look at dirt racing as a whole, encompassing late models, encompassing modifieds, other dirt cars, everything, I think Eldora takes the cake. It is the Big E, and it has so much notoriety for a reason.
That it does. Like you mentioned earlier, the prelude to the dream. We covered that last night. I know Nora's coming here on Monday. You know, it was a really big style event that NASCAR used to do in the early 2000s, so it's nice to see that they're bringing something like that back. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series used to come here. Eldora still hosts a lot of major dirt sprint car racing and late models and everything. And oh man, they have the World 100 that comes here too, don't they?
And the King's Royal, and I mean, a whole bunch of major dirt racing events throughout the course of the year. I mean, this is certainly a premier dirt track, and I'm glad to be here this evening. Practice is literally wrapping up there. You see Barney the flagman waving his flag vigorously to signal the end of our practice session. That will, of course, take us into qualifying this evening. Some big names have tuned in, or rather signed in this evening. Drew Neal, Dustin Sargent, just for a couple, Aiden Forster. Looking through a bit more of the entry list, Tanner Pettit is back, Logan Rumsey's in the field, Kenny Hoffman, Noah Bowman, Aiden Stull. I mean, some big names in this circle. Hayden Cardwell is here tonight. So some big names in this circle and just the circle of iRacing, dirt racing as a whole. Let's get right to it. Zach, cars on the racetrack for qualifying. Here's a look at Drew Neal in the Tony Stewart Racing number 14. A quick look at Whiplash Simcam's race details, just in case we can't get back to them. We'll, of course, have up to 6 heats. We should be around 3 or 4 of them tonight. That will transfer, I believe, 3 out of each. We learned in the last one at Knoxville, we'll make up extras if we need to through the consolations. So keep all of that in mind. Of course, we'll have a 22-car race, 35-lap feature at the end of it. And that's how we'll go racing tonight, as Drew Neal goes 3rd here in qualifying. Scott Thomason on top currently in car number 06. There he is, coming down to a stop. Yancey Beasley cooling it down. Vinny Sansoni in the number 80. He is 4th quick so far. It seems like a lot of these guys are waiting until the very final moments of qualifying.
Whiteman on track down to turn number 3. Let's see what he's got. You talked about it, Andrew. They're waiting to the waning minutes, seeing what they can get. A 93 goes to the top of the board. Whiteman with a 12.94. That finalizes out to just as it was. And Cardwell on track, ripping through turn number 3 as Forster goes to the top of the board.
I'm watching
Cardwell's
this guy.
Going to settle in.
Sean Smith to pole. I'm watching this guy, Hayden Cardwell, out of turn number 4. This time by, can Cardwell go to the top? That was a bobble out of 4. I don't think it's going to be for pole position, but Hayden Cardwell,
big time slowdown.
Yeah, falls down a bunch there on lap number 2. Parker Annis on the racetrack, but that's going to end qualifying. It happens quick here in these DS CCS races. But hey, that's qualifying for you. Done and dusted just like that. And we go on into heat number 1. Of course, weather not really a concern for these guys, but we can take a look at it. And there you see 67.2 degrees in the air, 64 on track. Again, that's kind of pointless. Mostly cloudy skies. I do see a pretty run-in line around the racetrack. And of course, it kind of branches out into 2 lines in the corners, Zach. But on the straightaways, you can see there is definitely a really rubbered-in groove. So these guys have turned a lot of laps already in this session. they're going to be banking on getting the track just right in that warm-up after the heats, because it already looks like it's a little bit torn up. I think we've got 3 heats tonight. Zach, can you confirm that one?
Yeah, I believe we do have 3 heats. Checking now.
Which means we'll take 3
3
from
heats,
each
a
heat.
C main, a B main, an A main, and a feature.
Well, A main is the feature, so I know iRacing displays it weird, but we'll effectively take 3 from each of the heats and then make up the rest of the entrants, so the 13, I guess, eventually from the B. It's going to be a little awkward, but we'll get through it here this evening. Let's go through your starting grid for heat number 1. On pole, Sean Smith, Hayden Cardwell right over his right shoulder. That's your front row for heat 1. Anthony Villagran back in 3rd. Scott Thomason in 4th. How about your back 4 of heat number 1? Vinny Sansoni, Joe Quinn, Rylan Neese, and Kenny Hoffman. I'm surprised that Hoffman is so far down the order here just after qualifying, but we'll see what he can do. Of course, a very capable driver. He does carry that black license. He's the only driver in this heat to carry it currently. That is the Pro World Class license here in dirt oval racing. So I would expect Hoffman to have a solid drive. And you know, we've covered so far mostly bull rings. Of course, Knoxville was a bit more wide open for these guys, but I mean, I-55 and Lucas Oil, they're smaller racetracks, not much room to race. Here tonight, I think we're in for the best battles yet, because we've had some great broadcasts already with this series this year. I really do think this might be the best so far. There's room to race.
Hold on a second. I don't mean to circle back or anything, but the WC stands for World Class. I thought it stood for World Championship.
World Class, World Championship. It's semantics at that point. The point is, the license is black. That means he's a pro. Watch out. He's going to be firing through the field. That's the important part. He's quick. That's the part you need to take to the bank. But here we go. Drivers into turns 3 and 4 for the final time before we finally go racing. It's been a couple of weeks since we've had these guys on the racetrack. I know last week's race at Kokomo got postponed till September, but here we go. Heat 1 underway at the Big E. Look, Zach, I'm a NASCAR fan by trade. I will never get tired of these cars roaring to life. 900 horsepower around Eldora Speedway. Here we go. Battle for the race lead. Cardwell down to the inside. Slide job. Maybe. He holds it back. Gives some room to Smith, who hits the wall. And we've got ourselves a race for the top spot.
Gets a big slider done in turn 2. Sets the fastest lap of the race. Smith drives it right back down to the bottom. Slides up the racetrack. He goes. Hangs onto it. Keeps it briefly off the wall, but Cardwell slips back on through. And sets purple time once again. Villagran sitting there waiting in the wings in the 3rd spot, seeing if maybe he can try to sneak in and go for the fight for the lead. And the top 3 have relatively broken away. You talked about top 3 transfer. And Cardwell goes quickest again. So effectively on your screen right now, those are your transfers.
Meanwhile, Kenny Hoffman did not get a good start here in this heat race. He is still back in 7th and going absolutely nowhere at the moment. So expect him to have to come through the B. If he can even get there, he's got to go through the C first. 2 laps to go in heat number 1. Here comes the entire field.
Everything just clicking off so quickly.
Battle for 2nd. 1 lap to go, this time by the flag stand. Cardwell takes the white flag, brought to you by Whiplash Simcams, but it's now Villagran on Smith, bumper to bumper, or I guess bumper bar to bumper bar. Cardwell will take the heat win. Smith and Villagran will transfer. That is heat 1 wrapped up. Sansoni, Hoffman, Thomason, Quinn, and Neese will have to come through the consolation races tonight if they want to make our feature.
Well, that was a quick heat 1, and then we're going to cycle right into heat number 2 just as quickly.
And Zach, here is your starting grid.
On the front row, Aiden Forster, one of the other drivers that has a pro WC license and who is outside just the same. Ryan Avila in that number 49 car. Behind them in row number 2, you'll find Aiden Stool and Noah Bauman. And then right behind them in 5th and 6th position, Dustin Sargent and Justin Groom. And then should be one more row on top of that. That's Randy Shreves and Jay Schaff. That should be your 8-car field, if I'm not mistaken.
Zach, I want you to look at this name real quick. I'm sorry to single you out. I want you to look at this name, and I want you to put your NASCAR hat on for a second.
Boy.
I'm going to be a stickler.
Don't do me like that.
I let you get away with a lot of name pronunciations, but that is not Noah Bowman. That is Noah Bowman. Ever heard of Alex Bowman, the showman?
Yes, but like it's, people.
Look, I will give you some credit. Everybody's got their own pronunciation of their own name. I mean,
thank you.
Everybody's got their own way of saying it. I've heard of a few different ways to say Cardinale. My family goes with Cardinale. I've heard Cardinal, Cardinal. I mean, and believe me, I've heard at least 20 different ways to say it wrong. So, yeah, everybody's got their own way to say it, just like they've got their own way to say Murtis.
Yeah, there's Mertis. A lot of the Southerners usually just call me Mertez. I've kind of gotten used to it, to be perfectly honest. I feel like it's a nickname around the track at this point.
It is
someone called me Martinez.
Hey, man. We don't discriminate. Here we go. We've got 7 cars ready to go for heat number 2, the second of 3 this evening. The engines will come roaring to life, this time by the flag stand. Aiden Forster, green flag, heat number 2 underway, 8 laps. Randy Shreves, Jace Schaff, they fall straight to the back of the field, lap number 1. Up front, though, Aiden Forster, Ryan Avila, a couple of teammates there. The real battle is on for 3rd spot, and that comes to a close quickly as Noah Bowman falls back into the 4th position. He has got nothing right now for the 77 of Sargent.
Forster goes quickest and quickly building up a lead. Avila has closed it down by about a 10th, but the fight remains behind. Sargent's got to hang on. He's got 4/10 over Bowman. There you go. I said it, Bowman. And they're all just ripping that top side. They are pushing that berm further and further up towards the wall, Andrew. It's going to get so slick on the top side. Sargent's in the wall. Bowman goes on by. That's for the 3rd spot.
Big contact there for the 77. He got the wall big time in 1 and 2. 3 laps to go, this time by the flag stand. And that puts Bowman in the field currently. Schaff has the opportunity ahead of him.
I think all 4 of these cars that we have on screen right now have a relatively good shot. Maybe if you're a little bit further back, you don't have the best. But Groom moves up into the 5th spot. So he's in the, well, he was in the catbird seat in case the 2 in front of him tagged the wall. But Bowman building the gap up. And as we approach the white flag presented by Whiplash Syncams, it is no contest right now for Bowman. Forster has developed an 0.8 of a second lead, and it's going to be no contest as well. He's going to roll through 3 and 4, win heat number 2, and take himself a lock into the feature. Avila 2nd, and Bowman hangs on for 3rd after Sargent. It's the debilitating blow into the wall. He'll have to go through the B main.
Aiden Stull never made the green flag. It seems like he might be calling it a night early. But that is heat number 2. Just as Forster and Avila drew it up, I suppose. A great run for those couple of Tanner Pettit Racing drivers. And here we go. Heat number 3 on deck and headed to the grid. We'll have 7 drivers in this one. That gives us 23 total. Only 1 is going home tonight. And with Stull out of the session, I wonder what the sim's going to do. Anyways, here we go. Grid number 3 on the evening for heat number 3. Josh Whiteman will lead us to the green flag. Casey Simons over his right shoulder. A couple of A-class drivers right there. Some solid I ratings. 6,200 there nearly for Simons. Back in row number 2. Oh, there we go. Row number 2. Logan Rumsey with that World Championship license, Zach. But 8,300 I rating. That, I think, is the driver to watch for this evening, Logan Rumsey. That was the one, when I saw him on the entry list loading into the session, I went, whoa, that's cool to see. Yancey Beasley enters this evening, C-Class license over the right shoulder of Rumsey. Beasley has been pretty solid for being one of the lower I ratings in the field. Drew Neal back in row number 3 alongside Parker Annis. And to complete your field for Heat 3, how about Tanner Pettit there? Oh, boy, I wonder why he's so quick. Look at the I rating. 10,600. he has won, I believe, every race that we've done here so far in 2026 since returning to the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series. He's won them all.
Wonder if he's starting in the back. Maybe he's got a bounty on his head.
Oh, don't remind me of bounties. We had enough of that on Saturday evening. I want to leave that in the past. But yeah, I mean, Tanner Pettit, he's definitely got a target on his back, right? 3 wins in the last 3 rounds. Those coming at I-55, Lucas Oil, and Knoxville. 3 pretty solidly different racetracks, and yet he just keeps on winning. So we'll see what these drivers can do against him this evening. Josh Whiteman will lead us to the green of heat number 3. 3 will transfer, the rest go through the concedes. Here we go. Josh Whiteman to the green flag. We're racing in heat 3 at Eldora. We got ourselves a fight here in the top 3. Lap 1 complete, there they go, rim riding around the outside, right up on the cushion. You can tell where the track is run in, and I like that we're racing here during the day, Zach. A lot of times dirt leagues don't like to run in the day because it dries the track out. I like that they're going for it as Rumsey sends a slider there in turns 1 and 2. It'll backfire on the backstretch. Whiteman covers it up down into 3, and Rumsey's got to draw it up all over again.
Ripping that top line best he can. Rumsey down back.
As Zach grapples with the Discord gods, Logan Rumsey to the point for a moment. There goes Whiteman back across his nose. An epic duel between these two, but Rumsey's got the advantage to 3, and he is setting sail far and away from the rest of the field here in Heat 3. The 41 leaving these guys literally in his dust. 2 laps to go when they get back to the stripe. Logan Rumsey driving away with that slider line. Low entry, high exit. It's working for him. Casey Simons in the final transfer spot. Tanner Pettit wants it. I can't imagine a day where Tanner Pettit doesn't transfer straight into the feature from the heat. Slide job here out of car 24. Pettit gets right to the cushion. He's going to drive away. Maybe not. Side by side still. Simons dives into turn 1. He gets the spot back. Here comes Pettit right back on the inside to wrap up the heat. He's going to get just alongside of Whiteman. Rumsey wins the heat. It'll be Whiteman and Pettit behind him. Simons will have to go through the consolation races. Whew. I'll catch my breath and get ready for some consolation racing. That was electric for heat number 3. That went really, really, really quick, and it's just going to keep going faster. B-Main on deck. Just one of these drivers will be going home, if my math is correct, and I believe that'll be Aiden Stahl, if he is still out of the session. So drivers hitting the grid, of course, they've got to put more fuel in the car now. These guys do get pretty serious about their fuel loads, so here we go. The B-Main grid coming right at you. Vinny Sansoni will lead us to the green flag here for, I believe, 10, no, maybe 12 laps, I think, here in the B-Main. It'll be Dustin Sargent over his right shoulder. Back in row number 2, let's see Casey Simons, Kenny Hoffman there in the second row, just ahead of Joseph Groom and Yancey Beasley. From 7th and 8th, it'll be Scott Thomason and Jace Schaff, and to complete your top 10, Parker Annis and Joe Quinn. Zach, we've got 4 more on the grid. Are you back with us, or is Discord still cursing you?
It's going in and out. We're having some pleasantries, and then we're not having pleasantries. But Randy Shreves and Drew Neal, 11th and 12th on the starting grid tonight. Right behind them is Rylan Nisi and Aiden Stool, and then 15th and 16th on the grid. Actually, I think that might be it. Is nobody, yeah? Nobody.
Aiden Stahl has gotten back in the session. He is lining up on the outside of the number 48 of Rylan Neese.
Thankfully, only one goes home, so he doesn't exactly have to pass very many cars.
Well, yeah, thankfully, I guess, in that regard, Zach, but, I mean, think about that. For the one guy who finishes last here in this B-Main, that's it for the evening. No more racing for you tonight. You've got to go home and think about what you've done. I mean, that's just not ideal to be the one guy out. That's gonna
make it sound like a timeout.
I mean, kind of. you're not racing for the big money here this evening from the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series. By the way, a big thank you to Brody Wilhelm and all he does here at the series. It would not be possible without all of his hard work, and that goes into racing here on Wednesday nights in the premier dirt car, in my opinion, on the iRacing.com service. Yes, I said it. I'll take sprint cars over just about anything else. Green flag coming up. We're racing in the B main. Big move already, lap 1. Simons to the bottom. He takes the lead through turns 3 and 4. Those TPR cars, they're firing through the field.
That's a huge jump to the bottom, and now they're 3 wide through turn number 2. Settles out just as quickly, but still side by side for the second spot. Sargent moves up in front with a big old slider, and they're reeling in the leader as Simons gets a big wiggle out of 4.
One in the wall. He's lost his wing. I think that might be Jace Schaff in the 10th spot. It was. His wing is back. All right. I mean, he'll take it, obviously.
Big jump to the bottom.
Yeah, Stoll's moving through. He gets hit. They're crashing. Drew Neal may be around. That was Ryland Nees checking up. We keep racing. How about this lead for Casey Simons and Hoffman? Hoffman has gotten back through here. He is up battling for second with Dustin Sargent. Fantastic stuff as we approach halfway through this B main. There's a look at the entire field going by the flag stand. Hoffman goes fast as I told you. You got to watch out for that 15 car.
He's closing in on that leader, trying to find a way, ripping against the wall. Driving to the wall
Caution!
again. And
the caution saves him. Parker Annis up and over down the back straightaway. That will likely be the one that does not advance tonight. As there you see the number 7 in the pit lane. Man, I said the one guy who goes home, that's gonna suck, and wow. He at least did it in spectacular fashion. I give him that.
Yeah, he kind of threw it in there and
climbed up the fence. Wow, that is some pirouetting action for sure. We're coming back to the green in just a moment, so we'll get back to live picture. But man, that is going to absolutely blow, for lack of a better term, for Parker Annis. That's obviously not how you want your night to go. So here we go. Just over halfway through the B main. It looks like caution lights are still on. That gives us a chance, Zach, to talk about this race car and exactly what a 410 sprint car is. It is purpose-built to go as fast as possible around any dirt track in the world. Stock block pushrod V8 engine that puts out just shy of 900 horsepower, a little over 700 foot-pounds of torque. Bias ply Hoosier dirt tires. You see the tire stagger range from 8 to 17 inches, a 90-inch wheelbase, and the car is about 78 inches wide. It's kind of small, admittedly, but also pretty darn tall. The wing sticks way up in the air, and that's what gives these cars all their grip. But in the next round, I do believe, of this league, we will be going racing with the wingless car. We'll have a new graphic for that when we get there to Knoxville. That is going to change everything up, as here we go. The first restart of the evening, with 4 laps to go in the B main. And at this point, Zach, everything is pretty much a formality. These guys just trying to lock in their starting spots. 3 laps to go now in the B main. The one car that will miss it, that'll be Annis. Everybody else will move on.
I feel like that takes away some of the intensity. You know, we had.
Battle for the race lead. Casey Simons, Kenny Hoffman. Hoffman goes down low that time through turn 2, and now even lower in turn 3. Slide job out of Hoffman. Crossover out of Simons. 1 to go in the B main. Slider now out of Simons. Hoffman gonna cross him back up. They'll battle down to turn 3. Who's gonna go low? Who's gonna go high? They both try to work the inside wall. It'll be Kenny Hoffman down the front straightaway, winning the B main. He will start 10th. Everybody else will follow. Simonson, Sony, Sargent, Stoll, Beasley, Groom, Shaft, Thomason, Quinn, Shreves, Neal, and Neese will make up the remainder of your feature racing field here this evening at the virtual Eldora Speedway. 2 minutes for warm up. These guys will turn an absurd amount of laps within these 2 minutes, Zach, that's for sure. While these guys do so, let's talk about what's upcoming here at Pit Stop TV. The next few broadcasts on our list. Yeah, look at that. From a dirt show to a dirt show on Monday evening. But before we get there, we've got road racing tomorrow night at Road America. That's always fun with the North American Racing League. GT3 cars are wrapping up their championship. Hey, Jordan, you're in the chat. Are we going to see you tomorrow night at Road America? We better. We haven't seen the last couple of AM rounds. We better see you out there. That'll be the finale for the AM division of GT3 racing in season number 9 for NARL. And then Sunday morning, Zach, we wake up bright and early with some Bully Dog coffee and the All-American Racing Network at Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'm excited for that. That is kind of one of their marquee races of the season, of course, in NASCAR Gen 7 Cup cars. Then Monday evening, it's the prelude for the NORA Retro Cup Series. Pro Dirt late models on the racetrack with a bunch of NASCAR sim racers. What could go wrong, right? I think Zach's still working through some Discord gremlins. Rumsey fastest here in this 2-minute warm-up. Tuesday evening, May 19th, we'll take the BRV Sundance Pro Series out to the Daytona Road Course. That'll be a whole lot of fun. Of course, if you're into fantasy games, whether it's fantasy racing or football, I invite you to get into the Pit Stop TV Discord server and check out our fantasy game that we have alongside a handful of our leagues. That would include the All-American Racing Network Sunday, and that's the next one that you can get in and play. The points, I guess the pick channel for that will go up later this evening. And then you can play for the All-American Racing Network race at Charlotte this Sunday, and then the BRB race at Daytona on Tuesday. We'll have a week off from fantasy picking, if you will, for NORA on Monday, since they're trading in the 2003 NASCAR Cup cars they typically run for the Pro Dirt late models they'll be racing here on Monday evening. A big thank you, of course, to our partners with the channel that make this all possible. Here's a look at them. Whiplash Simcams, MX Wraps, ATVO, Bertus Esports, CC's Business, the North American Racing League, Whiplash Creative, and TZO Designs. If you're just joining us, this is the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series in their 4th round of 2026 that we are covering here at Pit Stop TV. 410 Sprint Cars on track here at Eldora Speedway. We're so glad you're here. Let's go ahead and roll through our feature race starting grid. That will, of course, start with Heat 1 winner. How about Hayden Cardwell on pole? That 7,000 I rating doing some work for him. Aiden Forster over his right shoulder. Look at that, nearly 11,000 I rating. You thought Pettit's was good. Forster even better. Row 2, Logan Rumsey. Sean Smith to his outside. Row 3 gives us Ryan Avila and Josh Whiteman. Back in row number 4, Anthony Villagran alongside Noah Bowman. And to complete your top 10, Tanner Pettit and Kenny Hoffman. Back in 11th spot this evening, Casey Simons in the number 10. Vinny Sansoni in 12th. 13th spot, Dustin Sargent. 14th spot, Aiden Stull. And to continue on, how about 15th and 16th, Yancey Beasley and Joseph Groom. Back in row 9, it's Chase Schaff and Scott Thomason. In row number 10, the final couple of rows, Joe Quinn and Randy Shreves just ahead of Drew Neal and Rylan Neese. I'll be honest, I did not expect to see Drew Neal this far down the order on the starting grid. He's got the TSR logos, Tony Stewart Racing. I think he's got an ace up his sleeve, though, for this feature race. I suspect he is likely going to be marching through the field. Of course, 35 laps, not a long time. These guys don't have very long to get through the field. There you see 35 laps here. That's about 17 and a half miles at the Eldora Speedway. We'll turn the music down and turn the engines up, this time off of turn number 4. Hayden Cardwell gonna lead us to the green. 35 laps, the feature race distance. Here we go, Hayden Cardwell, green flag. Already some big moves through the entire field. One lap complete here at Eldora Speedway. Cardwell out front, but not by a whole lot. A lot of dust and dirt flying through the field. Forster looks to the inside of Cardwell. He's going to go all the way down to the attic and back up, or rather basement, back up to the attic. There we go. The slider fell through. Forster falls back to second. Here comes Rumsey. He goes down to the basement for a taste. That will not work out. He falls back into third spot. Avila, Villagran, your top 5. Pettit, he's back in 6th. I'm curious how long it's going to take for that 12 car to march to the front. You see the slide job up ahead. Forster has the lead for a moment. You're on board with Tanner Pettit as Cardwell goes back ahead into turn 1. This is what we're working with. The guy who's won the last 3 rounds of this series, he is back in 6th. 30 laps to go this time by. Can he get there as the leaders continue to duel? Is Forster now ahead of Cardwell? They get back in line. And Logan Rumsey all the way down to the inside lane, trying to actually run that bottom lane. No dice that time through 3 and 4. He falls back as Forster goes quickest. Ryan Avila, Anthony Villagran right behind this bright blue number 67. As here they go down the front straightaway. That wraps up lap number 7. The field's starting to lengthen out. Drew Neal, I mentioned him earlier. Thought he'd be a lot quicker tonight. He is way off the pace. He is running back here, I think, just to make some laps at this point. 22nd and nearly a second and a quarter back of the back end of the field ahead of him. So something on that car just not quite working for him. A little further ahead, side by side, Sean Smith, Josh Whiteman. Whiteman goes all the way down to the bottom side, that time at a 3. And slide job there out of Smith. He gets clear. Back along the inside, though, goes Josh Whiteman. I will never get tired of that. It's like an alley-oop or something. I mean, one car goes high, one car goes low. They swap spots. It's entrancing. Here we go. Battle now between Simons and Smith. Throw in Stull for good measure. Contact, netcode contact at least. Smith goes back through. Simons back to 10th. They keep mixing it up around the outside on the cushion. There goes Stull right up to position number 10. That's 9th, 10th, and 11th. You can see 8th ahead and 12th behind. Tanner Pettit, though, racing with Anthony Villagran. Caution is out. Scott Thomason in trouble, and he's already towed it to the pit lane. Go back and see what happened to Scott Thomason in the number 6. Looks like he might be done for the evening. I believe the call is that once you head to the pit lane, you are done, and I think he just came over and pulled it off, and that's unfortunate that him coming to a stop is going to bring out that caution, but it gives us a chance to bunch the entire field back up and try a restart here in the feature race. You can see just how much the track has aged in just that 13-lap run. I say aged. It's been run in, obviously, rubbered up. A great start to the evening. That was really solid racing again. I mean, these guys just have room to race here. I'd like to see Eldora on the calendar a bit more. Brody, if you're listening, let's see it a couple more times before the year is done. We'll have just over 20 to go when we go back green. I mentioned earlier those fantasy games. I'd love to bring it here to this dirt stuff. Drivers, you gotta let us know if you're interested in that. Essentially, obviously, we wouldn't have points for it here for the driver's side, I guess, in the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series, but we group drivers based on points for the other leagues that we do it for, and then we split them down. That's basically how you make your picks. You pick one driver from each of the points groups, and then pick a race winner, essentially, and a fastest lap winner, and that's about it. It's very simple. Here we go, green flag once again. 22 to go at the drop of the green that time. Rumsey down to the basement. He flies up to the attic. And he will lose that spot right back to Cardwell. I like that Cardwell and Rumsey are here tonight mixing things up, but Tanner Pettit Racing might just be a little too strong right now. Here we go. Rumsey back down. Cardwell still up top, and he just has no drive off the corner that time. Nearly gets back to Rumsey. No dice. Rumsey up to second. Cardwell down to third. Here comes Avila on the outside. And suddenly, Cardwell's got a... Well, I almost said a mirror full. I guess they're not running mirrors, right? So, I guess I'll save that line for tomorrow, but... Regardless, he's got pressure from behind in the form of Avila. If he's got surround sound on his headset, man, he's going to be hearing that 49 car just behind. Pettit is up to 5th. He's just got ahead of Kenny Hoffman. A little bit behind these guys. How about Villagran and Smith? Smith slide job there into turn 3. About halfway through this race. Halfway down, halfway to go, cross flags for Aiden Forster, and he has dropped down to the bottom side of the racetrack. He's starting to experiment down in 1 and 2. You see just how much of this track is rubbered up, dried out. These guys starting to move around, try to find the right line that works for them at this point in time. Forster a little bit low on entry that time to turn 3. But everybody's still up against the wall. Stoll falls back. I saw that bright blue wing falling back from way over in turn 1. He falls down to 9th spot. Villagran back into 8th. I don't think it's going to last, though. Stoll looks a little bit better here on the worn-in track. And he will get that spot back away. Villagran falls back. Quinn and Sargent doing battle here. Sargent has fallen from the front of the field all the way down here to 13th spot. I guess he started 13th. That doesn't feel right. It feels like he was just up front. I might be thinking of the B main. Regardless, he is not going very far forward in this race. He's got Quinn back to the inside. Rumsey for the lead. Slide job there in 3. He gets the lead away for now. That came out of nowhere. Slide job now out of Forster to go back through. That was 12 laps to go. Rumsey gets back to the point, but for how long? Rumsey's car looking a little better all of a sudden. There goes Forster back down low in turn 1. Slide job and a crossover to follow. Lap traffic up ahead in the form of Drew Neal. These guys are quickly approaching that white number 14 and Joseph Groom not far up the road. 10 to go. There you see Rumsey, Forster, Cardwell. That's your top 3. Could we have a new winner on Pit Stop TV this evening? Can Rumsey get it done? 9 laps to go. They'll get by the lap car of Drew Neal. He stays down low. Joseph Groom will be the next they get to. In the wall that time is Forster. That is everything that Rumsey wanted and more. Cardwell now at his left rear. Through turns 1 and 2. The lap's clicking off. Rumsey has to go low that time in 3 and 4. He gets by Groom, but not by a whole lot. Groom in the wall. The leaders take evasive action. Everybody down low. I think they actually gained on Rumsey into 1. Cardwell through the middle. And Cardwell is going to finalize that pass. 6 to go this time. Tanner Pettit Racing may have finally met their match. It's a slide job, though, out of Forster. Caution right in the middle of the racetrack. That's going to be Jace Schaff turned around to the number 3. He will tow it back to the pit lane, and he will be done. That's the tail end of it. He was racing with Yancey Beasley. Got a right rear to the face, and that car was broken as a result. Let's take a look at this. Big slider here from Beasley. Never did clear him. Just puts Schaff up in the wall, and that's unfortunate for the number 3 car. You know what, though? Props to Jace for getting that car down the racetrack and further out of harm's way. He could have just left it where it was and made it hard on the leaders once they came by. That was heads up. Usually I would say hold the brake, be predictable, but in that case, with everybody committed in the corner, I think that was smart from Jace to move down the racetrack. Good to see a couple of you guys out in the YouTube chat. 1425 Photography, Calvin Baumler. Boy, what a race he had last night at Texas Motor Speedway in the BRB Sundance Pro Series. He'll be trying out some dirt racing this Monday, as the NORA Retro Cup Series has their prelude right back here at Eldora in Pro Dirt Late Models. That should be fun. We'll get this race restarted this next time by 5 laps to go. Your running order: Rumsey, Cardwell, Forster, and Forster begins a whole slew of Tanner Pettit racing cars. Forster, Avila, Pettit, and Hoffman. 4 of them lined up, 3rd through 6th. Let's see what they can do. Fan cam for the restart. Green flag, 5 to go. See them all single file turn 3, but they all take a different lane into the corner. 4 to go now. It is still Logan Rumsey out front. How long can he hold on? Cardwell right on his left rear contact. They sort it out for now. Cardwell down low, slider up the racetrack. Rumsey tries to cross up. He will. 3 to go at Eldora Speedway. Rumsey back to the point. Cardwell back down low through 1 and 2. Forster chomping at the bit. Avila, Pettit, and Hoffman follow. 2 more times around. Just 1 mile of racing left to go. I think Rumsey's going to pull away. But if we see a last-ditch effort here, it's going to come from either 2nd or 3rd. Cardwell or Forster. Forster up the racetrack. Cardwell slides a little bit through 3 and 4. 1 lap to go. White flag brought to you by Whiplash Simcams. Can anybody get to Logan Rumsey down in turn 3? I don't think so. He's going to cover it up. And to the line, Logan Rumsey will be victorious at Eldora Speedway. 1 through the air. And we've got some massive, massive hits coming to the stripe. A couple of these guys not going to finish. Simons, one of them. Hoffman, another. And Stahl was the other. But how about Logan Rumsey this evening? He comes in, he shows up, and as Zach Murtis would say, he shows out. Wow. We'll be talking to your top 3 in just a moment. But I do want to take a look back here briefly at what just happened on that final lap. That was absolutely chaotic. And I do think Rumsey's going to park it over here in Eldora Speedway Victory Lane. There's no better way to do it. And sure enough, Logan Rumsey parks it at Eldora Speedway. We'll take a look back at what just happened there coming to the flag. Go back a little bit. This should be sufficient. This is probably 3 to go. And I know Hoffman was a big part of that, so we'll start with him. Let's just watch him in this case. He's right behind Pettit, who finally falls and does not win one of these things. I think this might be white flag. No, that was 2 to go. So Hoffman gets mixed up here with Stahl. That's that white and blue car right behind the black and pink car. Hoffman's the black and pink car. He gets in the wall there. This, I believe, is white flag, right? Yes, it is. Stahl goes down in 1 and 2. Hoffman tries to get back to him. And then, of course, slide job in the final corner. Hoffman just absolutely bodied Stahl. And Simons was a bystander. I mean, that... Wow, those were a couple of really big hits. And I suspect Brody Wilhelm will have his work cut out for him in that. We advance back to where it happened to the replay. At least a little bit further forward. I believe this was 2 to go. So you'll see it set up. And I wonder if maybe he was a little bit annoyed about maybe that contact right there in 1 and 2, but... Here comes the white flag. I mean, Hoffman got in the wall himself there. Hey, I applaud him for taking this shot down here in 3. Unfortunately, he was never, ever clear of stall, and that is a big hit for those couple of drivers. Simons, too. Wow. A few Murtis mega misses and all of that as well. Brought to you by Murtis Esports, but one more look at it, and we'll talk to your top 3 this evening. There's the slider attempt out of Hoffman. It just puts Stull straight in the wall. Simons had nowhere to go. Props to the guys who were able to miss it, though. And we will talk to your top 3 after taking a look at our unofficial race results here from Eldora Speedway. Of course, we know who won. That was Logan Rumsey, second place this evening. How about Hayden Cardwell on the number 07? Aiden Forster, third. Those are the drivers we'll talk to. Ryan Avila, fourth. Tanner Pettit, your top 5. I believe those are the spots that will pay out tonight. Sean Smith, Anthony Villagran, 6th and 7th. And Bowman, Quinn, and Sansoni, your top 10. A little farther back, Dustin Sargent, Yancey Beasley, Randy Shreves, and Josh Whiteman. Rylan Neese, the final of the drivers not involved in that massive crash in turns 3 and 4 coming to the stripe. That'll be Simon, Stull, and Hoffman involved in that. Groom and Neal a lap down in 19th and 20th, and then Schaff and Thomason out early. Let's bring in Logan Rumsey, who gets it done at Eldora Speedway this evening. Logan, we have had a string of wins the last 3 rounds by Tanner Pettit, and I mean, they've been locking down. TPR's been locking down the podium. You come in, obviously we know your name has some weight, so we watch out for you. Here you are. Was this expected? It felt like it was on my side. I kind of expected you and Cardwell to be up front. I don't know if I expected the win, though.
Yeah, I know our cars are definitely really fast at Eldora here, but we didn't. The first half of that race, it didn't really look like we had a shot because Aiden was just setting a really good pace. But then I just started to figure out the track a little bit, and I think the car might have came in a little bit also because I was a little tight at the start. And just we just started reeling Aiden in and kind of forced him into a mistake there, and yeah, it was just rolling there the last half of the race, and got by him. He made a little mistake out of 4 and just got under him there and ran away with it.
Now, when you say you were trying to force him into a mistake, of course, we do typically cover pavement racing, whether it's GT, sports cars at Road America, for example, tomorrow, or NASCAR stuff last night, for example. When you say you're looking to force a guy into a mistake, it's a little bit different from what we're looking for in either of those disciplines, because those might involve me picking to the inside, backing out early, maybe even using the bumper a little bit. You can't do that here in these cars. What are you looking for when you're trying to force a guy into a mistake?
Well, usually we have mirrors on, but this series runs without mirrors, so he couldn't exactly see where I was out on the track, but I run the relative box still, and I'm guessing he does too, so he knew I was right behind him, like right on his bumper, so that he just starts thinking about stuff, and the line was really hard to run, so if you're thinking about the guy behind you, it's hard to hit the line right, so I think that's might have been what happened, and he just made one mistake, and that's all it took.
And I know you and Hayden and a handful of these guys have kind of been there, done that in iRacing, dirt racing at the pro levels. What's going on lately for Logan Rumsey? Where can those watching find you across the iRacing sim?
I haven't been playing that much, just kind of hop on here and race here and there. Been running the real stuff more. Trying to focus more on that, but it's still fun to get on here and race the sprint car races.
And where can someone find you race in the real world?
What?
Where can someone find you race in the real world?
Oh, it does. Run sprint cars in Central PA, in Pennsylvania. 410s.
There you go. Logan Rumsey with a big win here this evening. $100 richer as well. Logan, good to talk to you. Hopefully we're talking to you again soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Logan Rumsey with a solid drive here this evening. 12 laps led. We'll go on down to Hayden Cardwell, who also has some, plenty of experience under your belt, Hayden. Obviously a great fight between really all 3, 4, 5 of you guys up front. Thought you had a chance there at Logan at the end. Is there anything you could have done differently?
Maybe a little bit. I don't know. I kind of put myself in a bad spot whenever we touched wheels there 1 and 2. Kind of just rolled the middle and it stuck there. It kind of surprised me, but the racetrack kind of threw us for a curveball there. Never seen it like this slick. It always gets slick, but the black part of the racetrack was actually really slick, so you had to be super straight. And we were a little too free on the top and just kind of fell back to third there and kind of found a groove like kind of off the top a little bit. And I just kind of, when I slid Logan, I got kind of crossed up out of 4. But other than that, front second to him. He's my teammate. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been up there racing up front. So shout out him. And yeah, definitely a fun race for sure.
You mentioned the track throwing you for a curveball. We've heard that a few times already in the 4 races we've covered here with the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series in our return. What does that mean exactly for somebody who maybe doesn't know and just kind of sees the dirt wear out in every race and thinks it's all the same? Is that iRacing making continuous updates to the dirt model here on the sim, or is that just kind of luck of the draw with RNG, as they say? What is going on there? Why did it throw you for a curveball?
Honestly, I'm kind of out of the loop on all this stuff. I don't think they've changed anything as far as everything progresses, but like it's just a little different each time. But I've never seen it like that. Normally at this place, like the top is just normally the place to be. But for some reason, the curb on the wall was built up so high, like when you would hit it, it would kind of just throw the car down. And normally you could just be like wide open, like all the way around this place. As dumb as it seems, you can be like on here sometimes, but you had to be super straight, like with the car. You had to drive just a little bit different, so it was nice. The only thing like I wish we could get figured out on here is nobody really ran the bottom all night. Nobody ran in practice. Nobody ran it in the warm-up, especially, and somehow we don't have a bottom side at all there. But I've ran quite a few races on here, and like I said, that was fun.
I know you've got real experience. I'm not sure if you've run 410 sprints. I think you've run some late models in the real world and stuff, but from your, I guess, opinion, your experience and everything, is that more of a physics thing on iRacing's side, or is that maybe with the way the track wore out? I mean, what's going on there? Why are you guys not able to run the bottom?
I think it's just something they have to figure out. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. It's kind of been like that for a while. Yeah, I mean, we'll just go places that's kind of one lane on the top, and the bottom will get destroyed when nobody runs down there. I mean, I don't know about you, but that don't make a whole lot of sense to me. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know what the whole dirt community's like. I kind of just play on and off with some buddies and some hosted. So yeah, I mean, I know dirt had its ups and downs, so I don't know if the participation's that good for them to even worry about it anymore or what. But it's still fun to get on here, and especially when you race with Tanner Pettit and Aiden Forster and all those guys, Avilia, that will race you with respect. It was still good fun.
Hey, good to talk to you tonight, Hayden. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Second place for Hayden Cardwell. Aiden Forster goes third, and we'll, of course, chat with him. And, I when I saw Tanner Pettit down the order, Aiden, I got a little concerned, but all of you guys came through. The 4 of you guys in a line at one point in that last restart. Clearly, you guys had some speed still at TPR. What did the 4 of you need to get those 2 ahead of you?
Yeah, I was kind of a sitting duck in the first part of that race leading, and that's just part of it with the no mirrors, and Logan was just running a little bit different line. And I felt like once I got behind those 2, I followed a lot better, especially in that last run, but wasn't really much we could do with the racetrack, and just everybody was so close. So these guys are really good. These guys are some of the best, and we just were riding around there to finish third, which we'll take. Still a paycheck, and yeah, good win to Rumsey and good run to Cardwell, and we'll take a P3. Thank you guys for putting this on. We enjoy running here every week for money.
Hey, we're glad to see all you guys. I mean, this I guess reacclimates us, I guess, or exposes us. That's what I'm looking for, to the dirt world, because I mean, frankly, we were here for the start of this series back in 2017, and then Brody kind of took some time away. He's back, and we've picked up a lot of pavement racing, whether it's road or oval. So we're kind of learning all of you guys again, kind of seeing where the dirt community is at. You mentioned the thing about mirrors, and Logan did as well. How big of a deal is that for you guys? I'm used to that kind of being the way it is in hosted league racing, turning the mirrors off. Obviously, iRacing is iRacing. You get the virtual mirror typically in official racing and such. How big of a difference is that for you through the heat racing, the consolations, the feature? Like, is that constantly kind of in your mind? Like, you're kind of I guess, habitually checking that mirror or where it would be typically, and then you find that it's not there? I mean, how big is that to you?
It definitely changes the racing a lot because you have no clue what the guys behind you are doing. So all you have to work with is what's in front of you, and it definitely comes down to hearing a lot more. And that's really all you can do when you're racing up front and have nobody in front of you to judge off of. Is just hearing what's going on around you. And that's basically all I could do there. And like I said, Logan was just a little better. He was running a little bit different line there and was able to get by, and that was it. But like I said, it's another good run. Still a little bit of money, and we're happy with it. We'll take it.
Final question, of course, is the first time we've not seen Tanner win one of these here at Pit Stop TV since coming back, which is also the first time that any of you guys have beaten him. Is there some kind of bonus in there for you since you beat Tanner to the line tonight?
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool. Tanner's been really good lately. Props to him for all the work he's put in, and yeah, it's cool. It's cool whenever we can all finish up front as a team. And even though it wasn't for the win, it's still a good run. We'll take it, and we'll move on to the next one.
Good to talk to you, Aiden. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you guys.
That'll be it this evening as far as the driver's side goes here at Eldora Speedway. Good to chat with all these guys. I mean, you know, like I mentioned straight up to them, we've been away from the dirt side of things at this kind of level for so long. I still try to keep up to date with some of the names and whatnot, but you know, I was talking to my grandfather earlier. I know Zach is still working on some stuff in the background, but talking to my grandfather earlier today is, you know, we cover up to 230 or more drivers a week at times. So I mean, there's just a lot of names to try and keep straight, and you keep an eye on what different drivers are doing on and off the iRacing sim. But you know, as we look forward here at Pit Stop TV, the next one for us is tomorrow night. As mentioned earlier, NARL AM Championship at Road America. Going to be a lot of fun. GT3 cars, you see the Acura there. Think of cars like the Acura NSX, the Aston Martin Vantage, the Ferrari 296, the Chevrolet Corvette, the Ford Mustang, Lamborghini Huracan, Mercedes AMG, Porsche 911, McLaren 720. I mean, we have got some really cool cars over in that GT3 class. If you're at all into cars, even if you're a dirt guy watching this evening, or even just some dirt fans watching this evening, if you could appreciate cars, you can appreciate this kind of racing that we've got tomorrow night. Make sure you tune in. Going to be a lot of fun. And then Sunday and Monday, we get back into our normal swing of things, although not really, because while we have a normal kind of race for All American Racing Network on Sunday at Charlotte, we trade in the Cup cars, NASCAR Cup cars, for Dirt Pro late models on Monday evening, right back here at Eldora for the Nora Retro Cup Series. It's going to be a lot of fun as we continue on with our regular programming throughout the week and month ahead. That will do it for us this evening from Eldora Speedway. Thanks so much for watching. A big thank you to our partners once again: Whiplash SimCams, MXWraps.com, ATVO, Murders Esports, CC's Business, the North American Racing League, Whiplash Creative, and TZO Designs. And a big thank you, as always, to Brody Wilhelm and everybody at the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series for making these events happen. It's been a lot of fun. It always is. We'll catch you all in the next one. I believe the next one scheduled for the series right now is Non-Wing at Knoxville in 2 weeks' time. That'll be, I believe, May 27th, I think is the date. So do not miss that. We will see you then. Until then, have a great night. Hopefully you join us tomorrow at Road America for some NARL GT3 action.